Hey YouTube, what is up? It's CS back here with another installment, and here's my preview for episode 32 of Deadliest Warrior. This one's between vampire and zombie. Alrighty, yo. Now, sorry I'm actually getting this to you guys late. I know the episode airs tomorrow, but I was busy all weekend watching a lot of sports, Strike Force, watching the Yorkis Gamboa fight. Busy with that shit. Of course, the U.S. Open, which is my favorite tennis tournament ever, and then of course the Richmond race for NASCAR. Yeah, I'm a sports nut, and I watched a lot of it this weekend, so I couldn't exactly get the shit to you guys out as early as this weekend. Not only that, I did have homework from school. Yes, I am in school, so this weekend has been pretty hectic, and it's only going to get more hectic with the addition of more assignments from school. And I'm kind of happy that we're ending the season off here with FFL Gurkha and Vampire vs. Zombie. You know, I think it's a good thing to do throughout the summer is have this show. It's just, you know, at least it's convenient for me because, yo, I'm a student, right? I would like to see more episodes throughout the season, though. I guess that's my only critique. We only had 9 compared to last season's 13. So that would be nice, but as far as the show is concerned, wow, they heavily improved it. There's a little bit more truth to it with the X Factors. The addition of Mac with a Warrior Insight, along with Dr. Dorian and Jeff Damelin, I think their chemistry is pretty good. You know, I really can't find much to hate upon the show on. You know, if you don't like this kind of stuff, then hey, you're probably not going to like this show. But technically speaking, I think they've done a wonderful job. So tell me, guys, what do you think of the show in general this season? Did you guys like it or did you not? But let's talk about this matchup, Vampire vs. Zombie. A lot of haters out there aren't for this shit. They want to see some of their favorite warriors throughout history still go at it. But due to popular demand, this is for the most part a fan show. You know, we wanted to see fantasy matchups on here. Not myself specifically, but a lot of other people did. And guess what? We got one with Vampire vs. Zombie. You know, they do listen to the fans. I'll say that. We wanted not just a weapons test of the show. And guess what? That was done. So, for the most part, I think they do listen to us. And hey, if this episode gets you know, critical acclaim or good response from the audience, they'll probably do another crazy fantasy matchup for next season as well. So stay tuned for that. But finally, let's get to this shit, alright? Vampire vs. Zombie. On one side, you got the vampire, and representing the vampire is Steve Niles. Of course, he is the creator of that style of vampire. Of course, in his 30 Days of Night series. You know, very overpowered vampire. Instead of just 2 fangs that traditional Bram Stoker-like vampires usually have, they have razors everywhere in their mouth, and they're going to pack a nasty bite. I really don't see how the teeth of the zombie is gonna be able to hang with that shit. So what can I say? You know, that thing packs a bite, and not only that, they got claws as well. You know, to go along with their superhuman speed and strength. You know, this shit really. How the hell do you beat that? Besides pushing him into the sun or outnumbering him, which a zombies is gonna want to do. You know, we got the Max Brooks style zombie. You know, the kind of you wrote about in the Zombie Survival Guide, and that's why he is the expert for the zombies. You know, the George A. Romero kind of like zombie. You know, just get to its brains, that's how you kill it. And their goal is pretty much to sustain their numbers and grow more. So they're just trying to, you know, bite you and do what they gotta do to you. They are pretty strong as well, although they are kind of clumsy. So what can I say? You got the perfect predator, in my opinion, with the vampire. Claws, fangs, they got intellect over the zombies, they got speed, they got strength, but they lack one thing, and that's numbers. So basically, we know who the better warrior is, but how much of a better warrior is he compared to a horde of zombies? We'll see. And basically, I'm almost wanting to flip a coin here just because you're either picking the better predator or numbers. So, really, who do you go with? But let's take a look at what they're armed with. They don't exactly have weapons, right? Their bodies are weapons. So, let's take a look at what they got there. Short range. We got the vampire's fangs, of course, against zombie teeth. Now, of course, zombies, you know, they're just mutated humans, right? Well, then again, by definition, vampires are as well, but zombies pretty much maintain a lot of their physical properties, like their teeth. It's going to be the same teeth. It's just the bite's just going to be a lot stronger. And for the most part, can they bite off a vampire's head and kill it like that? Yeah, maybe in a horde. Yeah, for sure. I don't see why they couldn't. For the most part, the zombie bite's not going to be that great. But say they're biting off a vampire's head. Yeah, that could be pretty catastrophic. So in numbers, you kind of have to go with the zombie teeth. But one-on-one or just fangs versus teeth, you gotta go with the fangs. For the most part, I believe the vampire is going to pack a heavier bite, along with the fact that those teeth that they're biting with are razors. So it's just kind of like the bolo knife versus Indian Company Club test. The blunt weapon or the sharp weapon, and I believe those teeth have more surface area as well. So yeah, it's kind of like that test. In my opinion, you got to go with the vampire here. Edge vampire, for cutting power and more cutting surface, and I just think it's going to be a deadlier bite. I think it's going to hit harder. So yeah, edge vampire and their fangs in short range. Alright, now moving on, we have mid-range, of course. We have the vampire claws and the zombie hands. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw the sneak preview of this episode on Spike.com, but of course we saw the vampire claw test, which was pretty nasty. They had a strong man who put 1,470 pounds of pressure on that pressure mat when he went like this with a hammer fist. So basically, that's how a vampire claw is going to feel, but times 6 of that. So they basically programmed this robotic arm to go 6 times 1,470 pounds of pressure. So it was coming down in swing motion like that with like the sharp ass vampire claws, and it got to the skull of the zombie and was able to penetrate the brain. That thing was dead. So yeah, that was a nice ass test from the vampire. Definitely what Max said is appropriate. One strike, one kill, kind of like how it's a sniper, it's one shot, one kill. So yeah, you can definitely apply the philosophy to this vampire swipe with the claws. On the other hand, you got the zombie. They had that same strongman rip into a vampire heart with 2 other strongmen. So for the most part, that was very effective as well. But the thing is that we're testing the claws versus the hands here. We're not plugging in numbers yet. For the most part, the vampire is the better one-on-one fighter, especially in mid-range as well. What would you rather do with someone, say, like, I'd even, like, take the zombie test, for example. For the most part, vampires are probably going to have a stronger grip. They're going to have claws. What would you rather do to get someone's heart out? Would you use hands, or would you use hands with claws? So you gotta go with the vampire claws. It is an obvious test, and even with the task of just trying to kill one zombie, that was a lot more efficient than, say, even a 3-man horde just trying to rip into, a vampire heart. It was just quick and simple, and then you can probably do it again to another person. So yeah, that was a pretty devastating test on the side of vampires in mid-range with their claws, so they get the edge. So yeah, guys, I took a look at what they packed in terms of weapons, but, if you guys don't know how to kill these things, let me refresh you. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Zombie. This zombie, I believe you have to get to its brains, and that's pretty much how you're going to stop it. So yeah, you need a headshot with them claws, or somehow, bite into their, skull and just penetrate their brain, and hopefully they die. So that's how you're going to kill a zombie. The vampire, sunlight still applies to them, so if they can push them into, sunlight, if the zombies could do that, then that will work. Also, getting it into its heart, traditionally Steve Niles' zombies in 30 Days a Night, that's not exactly a kill shot there, but they had to tweak the vampire, so, it's a little bit more level of a playing field against a zombie. So, again, that's why the zombie task for their hands was to get to the vampire heart, and that's for the most part what they did, is just rip it out, Also, another way to kill the vampire, cut off its head. That's another traditional way of doing that. So yeah, that's what the vampire is going to aim to do. Decapitate it, or rip into its heart, which is probably going to want to primarily do in this setting. So yeah, there you go if you didn't know. Alright y'all, but again, it's time for me to make a pick. Apparently we're going to see 63 zombies to 1 vampire. Also stated on Jeff Damelin's blog, his Last Blood and Sand blog. If you haven't caught that, go to spike.com and do so. He answered a lot of the questions that a lot of people were asking. Can the zombie virus multiply? And the thing is, it's not going to multiply during the test. So if it really is 63 to 1, guess what? 63 is the most of the zombies we're going to see. You know, they're not going to be able to spread. So apparently that's one thing he said about the zombies. The virus is not going to spread throughout the duration of that sim we see. And for vampires, can their virus spread? Say if they bite other people? Who knows? Maybe they're able to. We'll see. Because 63 versus 1 doesn't sound too correct, but I'm pretty sure this episode's going to surprise us. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some vampires turn some other ones and get more goons to fight for their side against the zombies. Now, it's numbers versus the better predator. That's what it is, guys. And, you know, part of me really wants to go with the vampire. Is just, what can I say? You know, I just know they'll win 1-on-1. I know they'll win 5-on-5. They are the better warrior. But this is a fantasy setting. And, you know, vampires traditionally haven't attacked in hordes. Zombies have. So that's what we're going to have out of zombies compared to vampires who are mostly solitary killers. You know what I'm saying? So to have a zombie horde versus a vampire one guy, you know, I guess it makes sense. And I still got to go with the zombie horde. It's just, I can't see even 1, 2, or 3 vampires clean out 63, or how many that we're going to see. It's just, I think it's unlikely. I really want the vampire to win. I am cheering for him. Again, I think the vampire is the better man or woman. It's just power in numbers. That's all I got to say, and that's why I'm picking the zombie. So yeah, who knows what we're going to see in the end in terms of kills. Now I'm going to say the zombie wins a very close, like 51 or 52%. In a 51 or 52% margin in the end out of 5,000. We'll see. But again, that about does it for my my preview of this season. I can't believe it's over. I will be back for reviews, of course, so I'm not entirely gone in terms of Deadliest Warrior Season 3. So I hope to see you guys for that shit, so stay tuned for that. But definitely tune into this episode. Please don't hate on it. It should be really fun. So yeah. FFL and Gurkha, that should be a classic along with this shit, so definitely tune into this. Again, I am picking the zombie. Tell me who you think is going to win here, and give me a thumbs up if you're with me in picking the zombie. Give me a thumbs down if you're picking the vampire. We'll see. Again, my links are in the description below. Comment section below as well. Tell me what you think about this episode and shit. Give me all your thoughts there. If you have any, it deserves to be heard, so please jot them down in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you for all the support once again. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps. And I guess I'll see you later. So thank you for all the support again, and take care.